welcome to the shot of the day. I'm a-drinking because those Chiefs are a-stinking. Let's talk some Kansas City Chiefs football. The Chiefs lose to the Steelers yesterday in a game that was ugly. U-G-L-Y, you ain't got no alibi, you ugly. Yeah, you ugly. The Chiefs were ugly, losing to the Steelers 19-13 at Arrowhead. They came out flatter than a Chiefs cheerleader. I mean, yesterday's game reminded me of a best-selling book, Everybody Poops. And yeah, everybody poops. The Chiefs pooped yesterday. The bad news is they pooped all over the field and lost, mainly because they were scared shitless of the Pittsburg Steelers. My hat's off to the Steelers. They own the Chiefs. The Chiefs were simply scared of the Steelers. Everybody poops. They pooped. Everybody's going to lose a game. Everybody's going to have a game like this where they poop. Let's get to, yesterday was a reality check. It was reality TV. The Chiefs weren't going to go undefeated all season. Let's be realistic about that. Was yesterday's loss bad? Yes. Is it time to panic? No. Who's to blame? Everybody. Okay? I'm not going to pile on Alex Smith because I think he actually played the best out of everybody yesterday. The offensive line, like I said, they pooped. They were scared shitless. All right? The defense got out-muscled by the Steelers. And let's face it, the Steelers are a better team than the Chiefs at most positions. The Steelers have a better offensive line. They have a better quarterback. They have a better wide receiver. They have a better running back. Le'Veon Bell reminded me of Priest Holmes, very patient, waited for the plays to develop. We missed Eric Berry stopping the run. We missed that toughness with the eye black X's. He's a zombie. He beat death. He may have died. He is the walking dead. People are afraid of Eric Berry. He's not there. Sorensen can't get the job done when it comes to run defense. Pretty good in coverage, but we miss an Eric Berry safety to help stop the run because our linebackers aren't getting it done. D Ford came back, got a nice sack, but the whole game is the Chiefs are a cute team, all right? They got out-muscled. We need some toughness. We don't have a tough leader. Though Alex Smith, I think, was the toughest guy on the field yesterday. I mean, we can go down it A to Z. The only people that played well yesterday were our kickers, and they aren't technically players. Let's face it. We don't want to rely on our kickers to win a game. And let's face reality. We can't beat the Steelers. I mean, we can beat every other team in the league, but we don't want to meet the Steelers in the playoffs because we just can't beat them. Everybody has a team that they can't beat. Luckily, this week was technically a bye week because we took it off. The coaches took it off. The players everybody took it off except the Steelers. Luckily, the Broncos and the Raiders took it off. We got a short week going to Oakland, and this is going to be an interesting game. We should win it. The Raiders are a team that, the past few years we have owned, and we should beat them. But who knows, on a short week, having to go on the road, especially with Oakland burning, NorCal burning, who knows? All that weed is burning up there. So who knows what the air quality is going to be like. We could get really stoned and not show up. And what team is better working under a smoky, weed experience? You'd have to give it to the Raiders and the Raiders fans because they smoke weed constantly. So that edge goes to the Raiders there if there's a lot of weed in the air. Maybe Kareem Hunt will get stoned, get the munchies, and run, and he'll just be going, feed me. You'll see all the players, because of the weed air quality on Thursday Night Football, everyone's going to be going, feed me, feed me, feed me, because they're going to have the munchies. The only team that can compete in that environment right now are probably the Denver Broncos because weed is legal there. But I digress. Let's go back. And that's fine. Like I said, top to bottom, the Steelers are James Harrison. He's literally 120 years old and a man. He's immortal. I mean, he is somebody people fear. And Eric Fisher, he ain't too hard to scare. Just let me put it that way. The whole offensive line, but I'm not going to pile on. I pile on Alex Smith a lot. And yeah, he overthrew everybody, but he never went turtle. He still tried to be a big dick player. He tried to extend plays, He tried to go Bob the Builder. Just saying, if you watched Ray Donovan last night, spoiler alert. But he couldn't get it done. He was overthrowing people. Hello, Mr. Robinson, who replaced Chris Conley. It's like, hey, hey, Mr. Robinson, Alex Smith didn't see you today. Hey, 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 well, hello, Mr. Robinson, Alex Smith will overthrow you today. Hey, 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 but it's not Alex Smith's fault. Steelers had a good game plan. They cheap shotted him a few times, and I give Alex Smith credit. He turned around on that one where he got clipped from behind, and he wanted to throw down. And that impressed me. I go, Alex Smith is playing like a man today, all right? This loss is not on Alex Smith, even though we overthrew guys at the end. It shouldn't, like I said, we had plenty of opportunities to win this game when we didn't deserve to win this game. The Steelers were the better team, had a better game plan. They outcoached us. I mean, Todd Haley destroys the Chiefs, either as their head coach or when we play against them. Todd Haley destroys the Chiefs. Just saying. But, we had some holding penalties. The penalties were a problem. We just couldn't get anything done. I mean, it was just, like I said, it was an ugly game. The Chiefs will rebound. We weren't going to go undefeated. We'll make the playoffs. We have to face the fact that also there is no more home field advantage at Arrowhead, especially when it comes to the Steelers. They beat us in the playoffs when we held them to just field goals last year. We had a chance to win. We played awful. In a lot of games, the Chiefs do not play as well at home as they used to. There is, and I hate to break it to us, the Chiefs Kingdom, there is no longer a home field advantage at Arrowhead. All right? I mean, we do play better on the road on occasion, which is odd and maybe good in the long run. But in the playoffs, you're going to want a home field advantage. Now, the good news is we beat the Patriots early. We're going to still have to win, and I guess you should say if, but I think we'll get in the playoffs one way or the other. We're going to have to face the Patriots or the Steelers. I'm not worried about anybody in the NFC, at all. All right? I mean, the Chiefs are looking a little bit Atlanta Falcon-ish, but we beat the Falcons last year. Like I said, you have to get through two teams in the playoffs to have any chance of making it to the Super Bowl this year. And that may be a pipe dream. Maybe, maybe not. You have to get through the Patriots, who we beat, but it was the first game of the season, had a lot of time to prepare, and anything can happen in week one. This game is more telling because it was week 6. Everybody's kind of getting into the flow. This is everybody's getting real, all right? A lot of video on everybody out there. And, and the Steelers, you didn't want to play the Steelers coming off with all the nonsense, that they've been. Everyone's saying Big Ben's done. He wasn't done. No one who shouldn't believe that. Maybe the Chiefs believed their press clippings that they were the best team in the NFL, a legit Super Bowl contender, and that the Pittsburg Steelers were done. Yeah, there's a lot of division and drama on the Steelers, but it's still the Steelers. They just simplified their game plan. Go, you know what? We're going old school with all, the Chiefs are going to, they have to make 27 moves before the ball is actually put in an offensive player's hands. A lot of trickery. We're just going to Hulk smash. Puny Chiefs. They just went Hulk smash Chiefs. And they smashed the Chiefs. They went old school, and they beat up the Chiefs. The Chiefs got scared. They pooped their pants. It was the Depends Bowl, and the Chiefs won the Depends Trophy because they crapped their pants yesterday. And they were afraid. And that's not good to see. We need a strong leader on the team that's going to instill fear in the other team. I don't know if we have it. It used to be Houston. But it appears to me, Houston's still a great player, but I think he's lost a step. Like I said, we don't have Eric Berry. We don't have an offensive lineman like Villanueva on the Steelers, who's probably my favorite offensive lineman in the league. We don't have an intimidating offensive line. That's why we have to do a lot of the trickery in the backfield to try to confuse people because we can't smash people. And I don't know what's going on with the defensive line yesterday. My friend Britt Chief brought up some good points about how Le'Veon Bell, forgot about the lines and looked at the linebackers. And that is true. He was Priest Holmes-esque in his patience waiting for the play to develop. But he knew to target the safeties. Once the linebackers committed, he knew he could blow by those safeties because he averaged, 8 yards a carry? It was embarrassing on the Chiefs' D when there was plenty of 3rd down and 8, 3rd down and 9, and they ran the ball and got the first down. That is not good. I mean, that is, you're afraid of the other team, all right? You're not well coached. The play calling was bad. Like I said, I'm not blaming Alex Smith. I mean, yeah, he overthrew his receivers yesterday, especially towards the end. And hey, I'd rather have Alex Smith overthrow people deep than not trying at all. I mean, he got sacked, he got cheap shotted, and that got into his head a little bit. But like I said, I'm not blaming. I think Alex Smith played a great game yesterday. Yeah, he overthrew people, but you know what? Everyone was playing so bad. At least he was trying and still being relatively aggressive. Some of the play calling, especially in the beginning. I mean, in fantasy football, I have both Ben Roethlisberger and Alex Smith. I chose Alex, and he did a little bit better than Ben yesterday. But at halftime, when my kicker had more fantasy points than Alex Smith, I mean 6 yards on offense, which is supposed to be the most potent offense, all these offensive weapons, Kareem Hunt, even though he had 100 yards from scrimmage and broke an NFL record, it was meaningless because he did not establish the run game like he needs to, and that's becoming a pattern, and it's a rookie, and it's something you need to watch later on the season as he gets tired. If that offensive line can't play, open up holes for Kareem Hunt, we can't rely on just passing to him. Kelsey, maybe still suffering from a concussion, dropped a lot of balls yesterday. Kelsey didn't show up yesterday. Tyreek Hill, even though he had to climb the ladder to get some balls because Alex Smith was going a little Kaepernick, ironically, throwing off his back foot, and those balls were sailing. They had to climb the ladder. He dropped some big balls too. And like I said, Robinson was getting open. Alex Smith didn't see him, but he didn't really have time. Once again, I'm going to blame the offensive line. Alex Smith was not to blame yesterday. And I'm hard on Alex Smith. And I'll say that. And then, we can go over, on the fourth down, should we go on for the end zone? Yeah, technically, by the book, if you go Lombardi, take the points, take the 3 points. Would that made a difference? I had no problem going with it on fourth down. Was it technically the wrong decision? Yeah, probably, but I want the Chiefs to be more aggressive. I don't want to put the game, even though butt kicker seems like he could kick a 70-yard field goal, and we may need that in the playoffs, and that's great. I don't want to rely on a kicker. I don't want to be known as those Chiefs teams. It's field goals instead of touchdowns. We got to rely on our kicker. I don't want it to be that close. I want to be aggressive. I want to be tough. I had no problem going forward on fourth down and failing. I do have a problem, and we're short receivers, but Harris at tight end, he drops a lot of balls. The one in the end zone where maybe the Calvin Johnson rule, if they would have reviewed it, I don't think it would have been a touchdown. I mean, you have to get rid of the Calvin Johnson rule, which I don't understand. Makes no sense to me. What is a catch today in the NFL? I don't know. Ask the tight end for the Jets. I don't think anybody knows. Was that technically a touchdown? You could have made a case that he had possession, but then he dropped it. And what worried me about Harris is you get it in your hands like that, 2 hands on a ball, hang on to it, buddy. But he's a 50-50. You say, you need a 50-50 receiver that can catch those 50-50 balls. Every ball thrown to Harris is a 50-50. Even if nobody's around him, it's a 50-50 chance he's going to catch it. He had both hands on that in the end zone. All right, he needs to hang on to that. Harris bugs me. He's a 50-50 guy. Were we missing guys yesterday? But once you get past week 1, everyone has injuries. Albert Wilson was out yesterday, and that is Alex Smith's whoopee. Would he made a difference yesterday? Maybe. We had plenty of chances to win a game that we shouldn't have even been in. If we would have won that game, we would have stole that game. That would have been like, we got lucky there. We stole that game. We were the lesser team yesterday. So now we go into the Raiders, and luckily the Broncos, it's going to tell a lot. We got 2, and Reed, I think, does put more emphasis when it comes to game planning on division games, which I guess you should, We got the Raiders coming up, which the Raiders aren't playing well. They aren't being coached well, but that makes them dangerous. They have to win this week. It's a must-win game for the Raiders at home. That worries me. The Chiefs should win. My head and my heart both say they should win this game. And hopefully they win it big coming off a short week, which may be good, so we shake this loss. We're on the road. Since we don't have home field advantage anymore, we seem to play better on the road. And then we got the Broncos next week, which I was worried about the Broncos. But then how the hell did they lose to the Giants? I mean, and they have no wide receivers. This year's NFL is very bizarre with who's good. I mean, you had the ARP Bowl yesterday, the AARP Bowl in Arizona, where you had, two cities playing where the majority of the people are over the age of 70, Phoenix and Tampa Bay, and Arizona, old guys rule, somehow with Palmer, Fitzgerald, and Adrian Peterson, I think a combined age of 273 years old, somehow managed to beat, the Tampa. Great, old guys rule. But just weird what's going on. And maybe the reason Alex Smith was overthrowing everybody is because you saw Aaron Rodgers, who I still think Aaron Rodgers and Alex Smith are the same guy. They play for both teams. They just somehow teleport them there. Or they're the Corsican brothers, where they fill each other, but somehow Aaron Rodgers gets all the, the good feelings. Alex Smith gets the bad feelings. Alex Smith, maybe he overthrew everybody because he has a broken collarbone, because he's technically Aaron Rodgers. They look alike. Who knows? Or they're, like I said, the Corsican brothers. Aaron Rodgers out, which is, everyone's panicking, saying it's going to hurt the NFL. Yeah, it's going to hurt the Packers, but once again, it just weakens the NFC, which shows you the importance of what I didn't think would be a window of opportunity. If the Chiefs could get in the Super Bowl, the NFC is weak, and we beat the best team in the NFC, Philadelphia, and I think we could beat them again. The key is getting through the Steelers, which we can't beat the Steelers. So somehow in the playoffs, we have to avoid the Steelers. And then you still got to get back past the Patriots, which, do you ever want to play the Patriots in the playoffs? Not really. Just a weird year in the NFL. But Aaron Rodgers, what should they do? Kaepernick, is everyone wants them to get Kaepernick. I'm tired of Kaepernick, Someone just let him play and just watch him implode. Watch him destroy a franchise with his girlfriend tweeting. I mean, I don't know if Kaepernick, everyone says he has the talent. Maybe he does. But he can't do anything anymore. You'd have to hire his girlfriend as the offensive coordinator because he couldn't take orders from anybody else. He would question every play call as possibly being racist. If it was, coming from the offensive coordinator. It's like, oh, no, I'm going to take a knee on this play because, I don't take order. I don't listen to the man, but maybe hire Kaepernick. He's hired an attorney to file a lawsuit. OJ, I think one of OJ's team. So just shows you how credible this whole thing is. Kaepernick wants to be a celebrity. He just wants to cash a paycheck. He had a job, right now doing public speaking for 50 to 75 grand an appearance. That should make him happy if that's what he wants to be. And God bless him. Go be a social justice warrior. Make that. But he can't do anything on his own. He couldn't do public speaking. He'd have to be a ventriloquist dummy. He'd have to have his girlfriend up there with her hand up his ass working his mouth. And is that what would be needed? I mean, do you have to sign if you sign Kaepernick, do you have to sign his girlfriend as fullback? Or running back, so she can line up behind him, run up, put her hand up his ass, so he can call the plays himself, all audibles, can't listen to ownership because they're slave owners. It's just a mess. But I wish someone would give Kaepernick a job, and if he's successful, hey, great. If he's not, go away once and for all, and maybe do what Shaq did, become a cop. If you got a problem with the cops and you really want to change something, go become a cop after you get done with football, Or do you just want to be a celebrity and make the big money? Is that what you're missing right now? Is that why you said you'll stand for the national anthem? A lot of hypocrisy going on there. Really don't care because it doesn't involve the Chiefs. Let's go through, let's see, the top 10 observations from the Chiefs website. Despite struggle, Chiefs still had a chance to win. Yeah, they shouldn't have, but they did. And I guess that says something. Chiefs first half was embarrassing. We all know that. Marcus Peters gets a second interception. Yeah, that was good. Timely, good. And he's our only defensive player that puts fear into anybody at this point. And it's not some of it's physicality, but it's more of interception and athletic ability. Don't get me started on Phillip Gaines. Gains yards for the other team. That's right. Phillip gains yards for the other team. That play where, it touches his hands. It's irritating, to say the least. I mean, it goes through his hands, bounces off his face. Kind of a lucky play, but when you have a good player like Le'Veon Bell who concentrates on the ball, focuses on the ball. Philip Gaines was surprised, and once again, you use the old adage, this is why they're cornerbacks, not wide receiver. But then, was it Sorensen who came in and missed the tackle? A lot of missed tackles yesterday. I mean, just we couldn't stop them. The Pittsburg Steelers Harvey Weinsteined us. Oh yeah, we want to be famous in the NFL, but basically we got to lay down for the Steelers if that's ever going to happen, because who knows? We were Weinsteined. We were Weinsteined yesterday. Number 4 Bell had a day for the Steelers offense. Yeah, he destroyed and teams are going to look at that now. And that's going to become a major issue. There's video out on all the trickery. So okay, so all we have to do until the defense proves otherwise is run the ball on the Chiefs. We'll get 8 yards a carry, chew up a bunch of clock, force the Chiefs to play comeback 2-minute drill, and Alex Smith just isn't that guy. I mean, he had a chance to be a hero yesterday, and I'm not blaming him, but he's not Aaron Rodgers, even though he could be. But he's the Corsican brother that just feels all the pain. Tom Brady, he's not Big Ben. He's not. He had a chance in a 2-minute drill to win a game, to be the hero, put up a 0. Had a chance to be the hero, put up a 0. And I don't, he's not the guy. When he's confident and does stuff, it does affect the other team. But he's just not that guy, and I'm okay with that. Because just the other pieces, everybody pooped. Everybody poops. And everybody decided to poop at the same time yesterday. But, Alex Smith had a chance in a game that we shouldn't even been in, to win it yesterday. And, he overthrew guys. Some of that is he had no protection, probably a little rattled from some of the roughing the passer penalties. I don't blame Alex Smith. He just, he is who we thought he was. Just saying, Kareem Hunt provides spark, late. This is what we hear from a lot of people. Chiefs offense, provides spark late. I don't want late sparks. I want early sparks. You start off the game with a freaking safety, Zach Fulton. A safety. That wasn't Alex Smith. That's all on Zach Fulton. And why did he do that? Probably because he was, like I said, scared. The whole team played scared yesterday. And actually the least fearful was Alex Smith. That's good, but he couldn't get it done at the end. We came up short in the red zone. DeAnthony Thomas gets Chiefs into the end zone. Yeah, you had freaking big dick player to the Black Mamba. We'll call that play Black Snake Moan. Look it up. Great play, but once again, we rely on these big plays late. We've come out, like I said, as flat as a Chiefs cheerleader the first half of every game. And we were owned. I think the touchdown celebration by Antonio Brown was I don't think he should have got flagged for that. Of course, they probably don't want NFL players punching anything, especially goalposts. Maybe the goalpost, or goalpost female, who knows? But I guess that's against the rules. I wouldn't have flagged Antonio Brown. But he was beating up on the Chiefs, of course, punching a fight cancer sign. That could be taken either way. You're fighting cancer or you're... There should not have been a flag thrown. The world is ridiculous. Number 8, Harrison Butker, Colquitt, give Chiefs a chance. Yeah, you don't want to rely on kickers. They're not real players. You don't want to rely on fake players like fake news. You don't want to rely on either. Second-year safety Eric Murray had a key pass breakup. Yeah, he played good, but we miss Eric Berry. Wrong Eric. D Ford returns to the field, picks up a sack. Yeah, he doesn't install fear. Where's Tom Bahali? I think he can come off IR, but he's old. And is he old like James Harrison? Where you gotta love Harrison. Harrison is a man who does not believe in participation trophies, and he proved that yesterday. 172 years old. Maybe he's Methuselah. Maybe he's 1,000 years old. Who knows? But he shows up. He puts fear in people. And, the Chiefs look like they were playing for a participation trophy. And Harrison will have none of that. Let's go through the rest of my notes here. Like I said, I'm going to say it's Chiefs-Raiders week. I'm just not excited about it. I think the Chiefs will win. I like the Raiders. I like Derek Carr, but it seems like they're having coaching issues. Their defense, if they get Navarro Bowman, maybe the Chiefs go. We need some more help at linebacker, at least some more mental toughness. Is Navarro Bowman the guy? Maybe not, but do you want to keep him from the Raiders? Maybe cut a deal to keep him for the Raiders, and then after the Raiders game, trade Navarro Bowman to somebody for another corner or a safety or for some offensive line help. Do some wheeling and dealing, somebody. Let's go through my notes here. I'm just rambling on in a really ugly shirt. We got Weinstein. Let's see. You know, Zach Fulton, if Mitch Morse, I don't know how bad the foot injury is, and I think, you know, it's not the old NFL where people play through injuries anymore, and we should be concerned about player safety, but there may be a time where it's like, hey, Mitch Morse, we need you to nut up, you know, take the needle on that foot. I don't know how bad it is. Or, you know, let's get that blind long snapper from USC. He could do better than Zach Fulton. You know, if you're going to do that, you know, early in a game to get a safety, we might as well get the press for getting the blind guy to do it. Harris. Talk about Harris. Drops. Oh, just he irritates me. No run D for the Chiefs. We talked about Antonio Brown going Ray Rice on a goal post. Is that even possible? Peter steps up, and he didn't lose his shit on the sideline yesterday. And Kelsey didn't lose his shit, but he had no right to because he dropped everything and went his way for the most part. Why did we go for an onside kick on that one time? We just that pooch kick. Our defense did step up. Let's see. Todd Haley, we talked about him. Chiefs blow a 2-minute drill. We have no more home field advantage, and I'll stand by that. Chiefs Kingdom, I love us, but let's face it, we have no more home field advantage. I think Seattle, we may be technically the loudest, but Seattle may beat us as the 12th man. I don't think we have that anymore. 6 yards at half, yeah, that's impressive. At home, that's everybody's fault. I think a lot of players. I think we had a fashion show last week by Tavia Hunt, who's really hot, Clark Hunt's wife, and a lot of the players participated in it. Maybe that's part of the problem. Our players are playing Zoolander. You know, maybe we need to program them to kill the Malaysian Prime Minister. Just saying, we don't need our players trying to scare the opposition with blue steel. Blue steel is not going to get it done, especially against the Steelers. Looking blue steel doesn't beat the Steelers. Doesn't beat the Steelers. You got to do more than bring a look, all right? You got to punch somebody. We talked about Gaines. Oh, that was just, it was a perfect storm yesterday of the Chiefs believing their press clippings that they were the best team in the NFL. Alex Smith was MVP. He had a chance for that MVP argument in the 2-minute drill. He's not the MVP. And I'm okay with that if we can get everything else fixed around him. That's all we can do this year. And I'm not going to call for Patrick Mahomes. I don't want to see him take the field this year unless somehow we are knocked out of the playoff hunt, in week 14 and let him start a few games. But the perfect storm of the Chiefs believing they're, overconfident, and the Steelers, hearing that they're done, they're over. That's dangerous, and the Steelers are very confident in Arrowhead. Very confident. We talked about Robinson. D shows up late. And why didn't we run our hurry-up offense? That was another mistake. Why is it that the no huddle always works for us, but once again, we rely on late sparks and doing stuff late in the game? Why didn't we run a no huddle in the first half? Why not? Just run the no huddle in the first half. Everyone seems, because we overthink everything. Andy Reid is notorious, and when it works, it's great, but he overthinks the play calling, tries to get too fancy. The Steelers beat us with just basics. Back to the basics. Why didn't we run a no huddle? Just to get it going, and don't let our players think. Let them go on instinct and just go. We have time to think. We're not good thinking. We're not good thinkers when it comes against the Steelers. Other teams, yes. But if you look over the history, during the Reid, we rely on late game heroics, sparks, and not by Alex Smith, by other players to get things done, and that's not going to get it done in the playoffs. Good for the regular season, not for the playoffs. And like I said, I'm not piling on Smith. I think he was actually, out of an everybody poops game, he pooped the least. He had little rabbit turds. Alex Smith everyone was taking full Hatter dumps, Loch Ness Monster poking out of the water, Loch Ness Monster type horse dumps, Alex Smith, it was little rabbit pellets, just little rabbit pellet poos, Chiefs are overrated, and that's fine. Every team, it's just the media, but we're still a good team. It was just UGLY. We got no alibi. We were scared shitless. Is this a time to panic? No. It's just a reality check, and we know what we have to work with. We know where we need to get better, technically everywhere. But we just need to, one, toughen up, maybe simplify things, run a no-huddle earlier if things are going bad. And it's just one game. It's a game, though, where people are going to look at that video and try to run the ball down our throats. So we need to figure out a way to stop the run. Or we're going to see a lot of that where teams are chewing up clock on the run, forcing us to rely on late-game heroics. And do we have late-game heroes? It seems like we have late-game heroes until about the 5-minute mark. We have fourth quarter, but we have late-game sparks at the end of the third and the beginning of the fourth. But with 5 minutes left, we fall short, just like we did in the the playoff game against the Patriots. Yeah, like we've always done against the Steelers. It's sad but true. But this is a teaching moment, a learning moment. I'm not upset. I'm not. It's just, hey, it was a terrible game to watch. It was a waste of my time. That's what irritates me. It's just, I've watched the Chiefs for so long. Yeah, maybe I'm old, cynical, and bitter, but I hate wasting my time. Yesterday was a waste of my time. The highlight was Melissa Etheridge, Leavenworth, Kansas' most famous lesbian, singing the national anthem, and they don't even show that. Come on now. Who doesn't love some lesbian national anthem? That's awesome. That's awesome. And we missed it. All right, Chiefs. Short week. That's good. You can get this bad taste out of your mouth because the bad taste is the Steelers. They Weinsteined you. They Weinsteined you yesterday. And congrats to the Steelers. You're a hell of a team. And, you got some drama. It's a problem, but, there's three teams in the AFC that are the top teams, and it could fluctuate. Patriots, Steelers, Chiefs. Chiefs maybe figured out the Patriots, have not, and maybe will not figure out the Steelers. So, that's why you want to control your own destiny. You want home field advantage for the playoffs, but will it matter against the Steelers? Doesn't look like it. But you know what? I'm going to be confident, not the negative Nelly. And I don't mean the singer accused, I think, falsely of rape, but who knows these days. A lot of raping going on in the world today. Always has, always will been. It's like this Hollywood thing with the Weinstein. It's not a surprise, okay? This has been going on, for years. It's sick. It's sad. It's wrong. But everybody in Hollywood gets a participation trophy in this sexual harassment, sexual assaults in Hollywood. Been going on forever up there. Everybody gets a participation trophy in it, either as a victim or as a defendant or the accused. I don't know. But basically the Chiefs were yesterday Jodie Foster on top of a pinball machine. Just saying. We got tilted. Tilted, I say. Shot of the day. Feel the burn, but kill the bad taste in my mouth from getting Weinsteined. Oh my God. We were mouth raped. Mouth raped, I say, by the Steelers. They own us. They own us. We got to figure out a way around that. That's all I'm saying. Not losing hope. Still got the faith. It's one game. We're 5-1. 2 games up on the division. We control our own destiny. We beat the Raiders this week. We're 3 up on the Raiders. If Denver can lose again, we get Denver the following week. We win that one. We pretty much have wrapped up the division, even if we were to play 500 ball the rest of the season, which could be a possibility now that the tape is out there for them to study. There is a game plan to beat the Chiefs, and this is when coaching comes in and intestinal fortitude. comes in. Can we man up? This is when we need to man up and change things. If we can't adapt, we will lose and go 500 the rest of the year, which may be good enough to get us into the playoffs, but we will lose in the playoffs, especially if we play the Steelers. So this is the tipping point. And I'm not talking about just the tip getting Weinsteined. I'm talking about this is the tipping point where the Chiefs can man up, shake this loss off on a short week, go into the basically they're going to vape the entire game at the Oakland Coliseum. Everyone's going to be vaping. Everyone's going to be high. Maybe we feed Kareem Hunt. Maybe we feed the no huddle. Everybody's going to be hungry with the munchies, and at least we'll feel no pain. Hopefully no injuries. Did Tyreek Hill get a concussion? That concerned me. He got popped yesterday. I haven't seen that. We signed a new, on the practice squad, a receiver from Syracuse, who Syracuse has got some mojo beating Clemson. Maybe check that kid out. We need some guys to step up, and this is the week. Sack up. Don't get sacked. Sack up. Everybody needs to take a little Bob the Builder, Ray Donovan style, and we need to go to the hospital after the Raiders game because we're suffering from a 4-hour erection being Big Dick playoffs. Chiefs beat Raiders 34-17. High as a kite. Love it.